Hello, 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 and welcome back everyone. I am Ben the Bold, and you are watching our Icenia Rises, Falls, and Rises Again campaign. We were once the small nation of a small tribe of the Icenia people. We have since become the great, the glorious, the Empire of Albion. We have taken over most of the northern part of the map, and then we suffered this huge revolt where everything in mainland Europe was taken from us, but we have fought and clawed our way back, and I mean clawed our way back. We were facing superior odds, a country that was making more money than us, a country that had more cohorts. The only advantage we had was we did have more manpower at the time, and well, we have definitely used that to our advantage. We have pushed the Britannic revolt all the way from the shores of Normandy, and we have done the monumental task of pushing them all the way back practically to the Russian steppes. And today we look to continue and perhaps defeat the Britannic revolt once and for all. With that said, there are still two little provinces there. I don't know what happens after I capture everything, if those two provinces are still owned by this little country, but we'll see what happens. Alright, let's go ahead and press that unpause button and get started. We do have some bad loyalty situations. We have a lot of regions needing governors, although at the current moment, no one seems to really love us. I mean, let's go with you, for instance. I believe Caledonia should have a governor, and yeah, you're good. Let's go here. You can have a governor as well. Cool. You shouldn't... Yeah, you can have a governor, and then no one else is super loyal, so... I only want to put loyal people in charge of country, or of whole regions. Let's go ahead and see if we can knock off another 32,000 of their troops. Major victories are what we need. Looks like we're going to lose this fight. Oh no, we actually got them in there just in time. We're actually going to, I think, win both of these fights because those troops are going to come in and reinforce. These were huge victories and pushes the majority and really the remnants of their entire forces, and that's going to just force them to keep retreating to the west. Just keeping them retreating to the west and doing just numbers on their manpower, as well as it has to just be demoralizing when your armies are just losing fight after fight. Ooh, she gains the trait Steadfast, perfect. Ooh, look at how many. They lost almost 35,000 troops. Meanwhile, we only lost less than 20,000. Ooh, and that was a complete stack wipe. That was perfect. We want stack wipes. We definitely want stack wipes. Let's go ahead and move some troops in to take on these little border forts. Curious development. They gain discipline. Good. These were huge wins, huge victories, and it sends them packing once again. All these fortresses, these are fortresses that I built, and I am going to retake them. All was not lost when this revolt happened. The true leadership of Divicacus II pulled us through these trying times. Some men are just born great leaders. Unfortunately, Divicacus' father, he was definitely not. That was one of the reasons why we have faced such an uphill climb. Divicacus' father, Lucterius III, he almost lost everything. You know what? We'll gain the stability. Yeah, Lucterius III, he almost lost the entire empire, but no, his son is determined that the empire will remain strong and united. There will be no division between the people of the Icenia Empire in the British Islands and the Albion Empire in the mainland Europe. We continue to push forward at a just absolutely blistering pace. We're going to go ahead and retake Yukta, or Yukt, which means we are going to once again... Ooh, that's a stack wipe. Every stack wipe is good. You, for rebelling against your empire, have been sentenced to death. You have been executed. Good riddance. Goodbye. I really don't want them to try to move troops around me. It looks like they have a military access treaty with this with the Getians, so I don't want them to just kind of bypass my kind of wall of armies. So I am going to just move these 25,000 troops south, and I will continue to move you east. In the meantime, I am taking horrendous attrition losses, especially out here. I just have a few more fortresses to take. It appears that a lot of their mercenaries are maybe giving up ship. Well, they still have 144 cohorts. All is definitely not lost for them. But as you can see, we have been pushing. Ooh, you are for some reason white flagged. Don't know why. We have won that siege. And another fortress falls to the Albion armies. Look at how many men have died. Over 1 million men have perished in this war. That is a fight. They have lost almost 800,000 men, whereas we have lost almost 600,000. Yeah, as I said, this is a fight. Let's keep that monthly general loyalty up. We have been definitely suffering from some loyalty problems. Let's keep the pressure on them. A lot of our losses, as well as theirs, has come from attrition. We have definitely taken a lot of attrition. As soon as they are movement locked, I'm going to move in practically everyone I can. There they are. They're movement locked. Let's go ahead and get some other troops in here. We should win that pretty easily. Meanwhile, you are just going to keep pushing. We only have 17 years left in this fight. We do... Ooh, looks like this is going to be quite the fight after all. Let's go ahead and move everyone that we can in. They are reluctant to give up this fortress. If we can win this before they... Yes, perfect. They lost 10,000 out of their 20,000 men. We also lost 10,000 men, but that really helps us before they are going to move in another, what is that, 40,000 men into the fray. It's alright, we have lots of troops as well. That's another 18,000 men. I mean, just look, they have lost 820,000 men. And again, are just going to continue to push troops into the fray. This is just a bloodbath, people. This is a bloodbath, oh my goodness. These were, of course, once loyal Iceni soldiers. You were... I mean, this war has gone on so long that she was a mere child when the war began, but unfortunately, for the crime of rebelling against your emperor, you must be put to death. Yeah, and unfortunately they really sold out to try to relieve that fortress, and it didn't work out for them. They stack wiped another army. That is huge. They have lost 844,000 men. Meanwhile, our armies are just relentlessly pushing forward. I'll tell you what, this is a war for the ages. This is a good one to... Because I don't necessarily know how much more fighting I'll have in me once this war is finished, because, I mean, the campaign is just so close to being done. I wouldn't mind going after some more territory in Gaul. We'll just have to see how that all plays out. The real kicker is, can I defeat the Britannic Revolt, and I think at this point I definitely have. There was at one point where they really did look to be building something. There was at one point where they had built a strong fleet. It looked like they were trying to challenge me in my control of the English Channel. But alas, it does seem that the old adage that the best walls in human history are that of the English Channel, it seems that that is true in this case, as they were unable to challenge me at sea. In the end, we were able to sink their fleet, and we were able to build a foothold in Normandy. And I know this isn't Hoi 4, but we definitely had a Operation Overlord where we just blitzkrieged through their territory. A warrior's honor, you know what? I think you deserve it, man. So many great victories from so many of my just amazing generals. So many of them were mercenaries. The pocketbooks of the Albion tribe were really what won us this fight, that's for sure. Alright, so this little country did end up taking those two territories, so all I have to do is capture every single territory that they own for this war to end. They have not given up yet, though. They still want to fight. We're going to push them back into Tyrus. Let's go ahead and move all of these troops here. Let's just not let them come back into our territory. Yeah, that's going to be another major victory from us. They tried one last offensive. Oh, gosh. I wonder what their men are thinking when they're... They know that the war is over. They know what... They know what's happened. They know that they have utterly lost. I'm not saying that they fell to a tyrant. They fell to their rightful emperor. I'm just gonna take the money and run. Oh my goodness, we have almost done this. I'm super excited to be done with this war. It's been a ton of fun, but boy, has it been a heck of a match. Looks like they're not going to go out without a fight. They want one more large battle. We are going to do a number on them. Before this war ends, I want to just show you, they've lost upwards of 850,000 troops. We have lost almost 600,000 troops. Wow. In total, we are pushing at about like 1.4 million men have died in this conflict. That right there is a fight. We have won. We have taken all their territory. I don't believe we have to destroy their armies as well, although there is a chance of that. I think once this province sieges down... Yes, we are victorious! Alright, at long last, the brutal struggle with our own nation has come to a close. The remains of the armies once commanded by Icus II lie broken and demoralized, awaiting our judgment. Iccius himself has been cast in irons while we decide how we should punish him and his co-conspirators for their transgressions against the people of Albion. Alright, so we have two options. We could say treason demands punishment, but let the soldiers live. Basically, Iccius, he dies. We get 83,299 manpower. Not terrible. We also gain 10 stability, really good. And for the next 5 years, we get monthly loyalty up every character by 0.15. So that's really good. Or we could say kill them all. What happens? We get national unrest up by +2. All our own characters gain 10 loyalty. We gain 10 stability, and we still get the monthly loyalty. So it's basically a question of how angry am I. And honestly, I'm going to let the soldiers live, but Iccius must, of course, die. Ooh, you know what? No. No. I'm going to go with kill them all, and here's why. All revolter characters are put to death, and it's because I'm spiteful. I executed all of the captured generals. I think it's what Divicacus and his ruthlessness would have done. He is selfish, he's corrupt, he's jealous, and he's a tactician. He would, unfortunately, probably kill all the characters. I just want to note that I would never... I feel like I'm a lovely person in real life, but Divicacus Sonori, he maybe isn't, and his entire life has been wrought with disloyalty, backstabbing, rebellion, and war, and he's just really looking forward to some peace. And there it is. Peace in our time. We have about 15 years left in this campaign, and we are once again the great, the grand, the glorious nation of Albion. So, we have some time left. I'm going to go ahead and let the clock tick and move some armies. Let's go ahead and just move them back west. I don't necessarily have a new plan or what I want to do next. We once again have access to horse archers. I guess I could get rid of a bunch of mercenaries, but I honestly don't see the reason to at the current moment. Why not just hold on to them until the end of the game? We have plenty of people and not a ton of time to finish off this game. So I could go ahead and fabricate some claims, just keep building. I don't know. Who should I go to war with next? Should I go to war again? We've had such a long and just devastating fight. Maybe I should just focus on trying to stay together in the last 15 years or so of this campaign. Just moving all my soldiers this direction. Let's see. Guess I should give everyone a decent governor now that I can. Everyone is very loyal to me and will be for the next little bit. We put down a major revolt after all. I definitely want to see how Divicacus is handling things. He should be a little bit happier. He was, poor guy, his entire life, this is what he's been having to fight against. His father was, well, not the best ruler, but he was an emperor of Albion after all, and so he demanded respect. Unfortunately, he did not get it from some of the major families, and they decided that they would rebel rather than live under Luctarius II, or live under Luctarius's heirs. Of course, Luctarius's heir, Divicacus II, was displeased with this, but as a mere heir, he could not really do much about it. Luctarius died early on in our revolt, and I'm going to go ahead and have the citizens arrive in Camalodunum. He died early on in our revolt, and Divicacus was forced to take on the most monumental task that any Albion Emperor, or indeed Iceni tribal king, had ever attempted, and that was to mend the Great Schism. Now, I do believe that Divicacus is probably a relatively peaceful man in general. He is a little selfish, he's very plain speaking, he is a little bit corrupt, he's a little jealous, and he's a military tactician. So maybe he's not so... You know what? I bet he would definitely want some more territory. After all, he just led one of the most successful campaigns of all time, or at least in this alternate universe. Looks like we had another martial advancement. I'll take that siege ability. I'll take several of those. You know what? I'll take them all. Why not? After all, I now am once again the most powerful nation on Earth. Man, what a war. What a fight. I'm pretty happy about that. 1.4 million casualties, though. That's a lot. That was a knockout, drag-out fight if I ever saw one. My little army's just moving into place. We have not too much time to do what needs to be done, and that is to take the rest of Gaul. I don't necessarily know if I'm going to get it. I had to get a little sidetracked. And again, I always like a campaign with a big final boss at the end. And in this case, the final boss wasn't Rome, it wasn't Carthage. I think the final boss was me. The enemy was within the entire time. I guess, well, both of those are actually gaining their food back. I am playing on speed 4 because I'm trying to finish the campaign in decent timing because, well, it is now Monday, December 2nd, at least when I'm recording it, and, well, the new update to the game, the Livy update, comes out tomorrow, just Tuesday, December 3rd, so I'm really excited to see it, to give it a shot. Still debating on who I want to play, although by the time this goes up to YouTube, who knows, I've probably already started a campaign. I'm thinking, I mean, I would like to play as Rome at first, just because I like the fact that Rome starts out small, so you get a chance to experiment with a lot of the new mechanics in kind of a smaller scale, and then you eventually build and you grow tall, and you grow into this country that then can use all of the mechanics on a really wide scale as well. I also have thought about, and I don't necessarily want to do this the first time I play the Livy update, but I've also thought about doing a campaign, I've mentioned it a few times, where I don't take control of any army that the leader of my nation isn't controlling. So basically, in this playthrough, every single army I had would have to be on AI control, except for this army because Divicacus II is actually in charge. Ooh, looks like we have some barbarians. I should have left some armies over here to deal with that. Let's go ahead and just send you back this way. So basically, the way I see it is, it's very much I have to rely on other people or the AI to get a lot of advancements. I have a feeling that would just be a very frustrating campaign, although it would be kind of cool to see what the AI could do in warfare. If I control every aspect of the nation with the exception of the armies that were not controlled directly by my character. I think that's kind of a cool idea, but it could also be a super frustrating idea. Earlier on in this campaign, I did decide to kind of give that a shot, and I put all my armies on AI control and just had them try to fight a war for me. And boy, that was rough, man. It was just rough. In this case, I'm just kind of moving my armies around, trying to so that they don't take a ton of attrition, although with the amount of manpower I have, I'm not really worried about attrition. I'm also not super worried about barbarians anymore at this point. I'll march some troops over there, but You know what? I'll just go ahead and put you on defend borders. I'll march some troops over there, but there's only 12 years left in the game. That territory out east is not really necessarily where I need to be focusing. We're almost done with some of our claim fabrications, although at this point I could maybe just go ahead and declare war without them. Well, I like having the high stability, I guess. Again, with only about 12 years left, I'm not really worrying about anything internal. I'm just trying to capture as much as I can before I get the end screen. So with that said, let's actually go ahead and get some more claims going. I didn't even really look to see who I was going to be fighting in this war. I guess I could go to diplomacy and find out. Alright, yeah, that's perfect. I didn't even look because, well, the Icenian people, the Albion people, they're feeling very confident about their ability to fight a war at this point. They have been locked in warfare for really the past almost 2 decades. They definitely came out with some major victories. They're not worried about some tribesmen in Gaul. Especially like the Arvini. They've fought these battles before. They know they can win. I do have a lot of mercenaries still in my army. I don't really see a reason to disband them at this point. I'm making plenty of cash without using them. Right. Or sorry, I'm making plenty of cash without disbanding them. That's what I mean. Unfortunately, we are going to take an early loss. That's alright. We are defeated. It's okay. Most of my army is just moving in from the north anyway. I thought we could take them. But apparently not. We definitely out-tech them, that's for sure, so we at least have that going for us. We are once again taking a bunch of tribes, or slaves. We didn't take any slaves in the last war. Of course, that's because we were fighting a war against ourselves. Yeah, now the victories are starting to pile up. Just isn't even fair anymore. At this point, our troops are highly disciplined, they're highly organized. They are definitely ready for anything that these barbarians can throw at us. Looks like they're trying to hire a bunch of more soldiers. Not super worried about that. We're going to fight another battle, we're going to win another battle. We're going to take another territory, we're going to fight another battle, we're going to win another battle, and we're going to take another territory. That's just how this one goes. Looks like we're going to lose this fight, so I'm going to just pull my troops out. We did lose about twice as many men as they did, although, you know what? That's alright, we have the manpower. I'm sure they don't. Let's take a look. They have about 30,000 men with 67 cohorts. We have 270,000 men with how many cohorts? 485, so We are in good shape indeed. I'll let that army do its thing, that's fine. It would be nice if we could have these 2 sieges fall. We're going to take some more prisoners, that's fine. Let's keep you relatively close, just in case you need to reinforce this siege. I guess we can keep you right there. Ah, some barbarians pillaged one of our territories. Oh well. We'll send you out after them. Not worried about the barbarians way over there anymore. They were concerned earlier on in the wars, but not currently. We're going to take a small defeat. It's just a small setback on our way to, overall, I believe, what will be a huge victory for us. Come on, crush them before the reinforcements arrive. Perfect. And then now they are all of a sudden the aggressors. We are the defenders. Getting a lot of stack wipes. That's good. We need them. They are definitely putting up a fight. Uniform regulations, good. Gains discipline, that's perfect. All 4 disciplined soldiers, as well as commanders. I would love to finish this war by the end of the year, although I don't necessarily think that's going to happen. I am going to call the end of this episode quits at the beginning of 1017, because that will be exactly 10 years before, well, around 10 years before the end of this campaign, which I think is a lovely amount of time for one more final episode. Who knows, depending on how much fighting we do, maybe we'll do 2 more final episodes, but either way, we are definitely getting closer to the end game here. Alright, here's where we are at the end of... Well, I guess I'll let it tick down another couple of days, shouldn't I? Alright, here we are, December 31st. You know what, January 1st, 1717. We have taken over, we have reclaimed the Albion Empire. It is ours again. We have taken it away from the Britannic uprising. Their revolt has been crushed, their leaders have been executed, and so have all of their soldiers. Admittedly, not the greatest look for our emperor. However, he demands loyalty, and he will get it, and he is going to try to carry on the ambition of his forefathers and take on Gaul itself. It's going to be a lofty goal. He has about 10 years left to do it. But yeah, if you want to see how we do, I feel like the major boss of this campaign has already been defeated, but you never know what will happen in the next 10 years. And if you want to see how we do, be sure to tune in next time. I have a feeling next time might be our last episode. Who knows, maybe we'll do 2. But most likely, our next episode is our last episode of this campaign, which I'm super excited about. I am, on a personal note, I'm not exactly great at finishing campaigns. I've loved this one, though. I'm so glad that I've had a lot of people watch it. A lot of people seem to enjoy it. If you are one of those people who are watching, and if you're enjoying it, go ahead and hit up that like button, hit up that subscribe button, and as they say, I will see you in the next one.